Hello, Internet. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Shenanigoons, the Book of Fables, that kind of fairy tale D&D campaign where you contribute to the chaos. I am Angela, your mostly alive, mostly human dungeon master for the evening. And hello, players.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you all today? It's been a spell.
It has.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a combination of out-of-townness and illness have and scheduling have just completely plummeted our consistency. But we're back now, and we're ready to keep going. So we are in the middle of. We probably stopped at a pretty decent moment in the story. No cliffhangers, thank goodness. But we're gonna be chatting a little bit. Some stuff has happened in the last month since we had stream, A few things, just a couple things of note. We are, well, I mean, some things haven't changed. Namely, we are still members of the Nerdsmith channel.
God, I hope
Still
so.
members of the Nerdsmith Network. You can find out more about us at nerdsmith.org, or if you like what you watched tonight, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsmith. And we are very pleased to be also supported by a number of really kick-ass groups. Starting with World ANVIL, the most comprehensive campaign management and world building software on the internet today, who just celebrated their 4th year anniversary on October 31st. I put a little thing out on behalf of Nerdsmith for their live stream event, little well-wishing to them. We've always been incredibly proud to be sponsored by World ANVIL. They're a really cool group of people, and they make a really kick-ass product, and they have collected an incredible community of creative folks, and I'm just so excited about whatever the next years will bring with us and World ANVIL partnered. It's just a really great thing. We are also, you might notice, below me, surprise, we are newly affiliated with Hero Forge. You know them, you love them, you are gonna see a hell of a lot from them as I have fallen down the rabbit hole of the last several months. But that is our primary means of creating our characters now. We are... Let me show you. We have some very pretty people in our NPC cast list, and that's not just because I make them all hot. It's also because Hero Forge makes beautiful 3D designs. So yeah, everyone in chat, this is not a surprise to anybody who knows me right now that I've been compulsively making Hero Forge images. But you can support us by using Hero Forge. We actually have a referral link that if you purchase anything via that, you'll be directly supporting the network. So if you go check out the Hero Forge link down below, go build, go use amazing things. Today is Tuesday, which makes me super excited about being affiliated with Hero Forge, because that means that every Tuesday I get to talk about whatever they recently released, because every Tuesday is when they put out new content. So Tuesdays, it's true. But so Tuesday, so this week they put out a couple of quality of life fixes, some things just to kind of speed it up, especially on mobile devices. But they also came out with a new costume available to pro subscribers. It's really pretty. It's I don't have the name off the top of my head, but it's basically like a Maid Marian medieval gown and veil and wimple, and there's like a mask and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty lovely. I'm very excited to design somebody with it. But yeah, so you should check them out. If you get a pro subscription with them, there's different tiers of pro subscriptions. You can get early access to any of their assets, their art assets. So any clothing that comes out early. You also can download high-res tokens and use their scene creator, which is really kick-ass. And then at the next tier up, you can have basically you get virtual tabletop file downloads per month with the pro subscription. So if you use virtual tabletops like Tailspire or that's the only one off the top of my head, but any of the 3D ones, you can, a tabletop simulator, anything like that, you can download the 3D model of your characters and you can pop them right into the program. It's super cool. I may or may not be considering doing that. Maybe for a future campaign, not for this one. That's too much work. I'm just getting the hang of Roll20. We're not gonna open that can of worms. But it's super kick-ass, so you should definitely check them out. And that's Hero Forge.
Yes.
Woot woot. Finally, last but not least, we are sponsored by our delightful friends at Castle Diehard Dice. Tessa, would you like to let everybody know, since it is the first Tuesday of the month, what we're talking about this month?
This month, we have the lovely 7-piece set known as ANVIL Enchanted Samhain. So they are this beautiful orange and black ANVIL print with the lovely blunted edges. So if you are like me and constantly drop your dice, you won't die of caltrops. But there's kind of this, you can't really see it in the camera because it doesn't show up very well, but there is a purpley pink orange glitter inside of it. They are lovely. So talking a little bit about Samhain, so everyone knows that Samhain is actually the Celtic New Year. So Celtic New Year, new you, new year, new dice. So go to Die Hard Dice and get yourself your very own set of ANVIL Enchanted Samhain dice with the coupon code DICEDRAGONS for 10% off your order. We did talk about doing a giveaway for our dice with a fan art contest. We didn't stream very much in October, so we're going to extend that through November. And we will still be giving away some dice at the end of that. So if you have any fan art, please send it to us via either Twitter or on our Discord, and we will enter you into the running to win a set of Die Hard dice. And yeah. They are very much like citrine dice. Yes, they are really, really, really pretty. Also, if you don't want to do fan art, I will also accept fanfic. If you are not
writing is art. Writing is
writer,
art.
I mean, if you are not an artist and you want to write instead, we will accept fanfic.
But you are an artist.
100%.
Writing is art.
Yes, I meant a visual artist. Sorry.
I know. No, it's okay. I'm just trying to be I'm being aggressively supportive.
Yes. Aggressive supportive. So, yeah.
It is an art. It's definitely a bachelor's of art degree when you get a writing degree.
That's true.
Hey,
That's true.
yeah. I have a bachelor's in art. It's anthropology, though. It's liberal arts. Anyway.
I don't have one of those.
That's okay. You're still an artist. Degrees do not make an artist.
Yeah, I don't have any of those degrees. I want one. I'm like a semester away from having one.
Tessa, when's the deadline?
Let's put, deadline would be,
Maybe the Monday, maybe the 29th, the Monday before the end of
let's do the 29th.
November?
The 29th, please. Bex, please do not have a concussion. We would prefer that you were okay.
Tessa, can you do me a favor and do a little write-up for that then? So we can put it on Twitter at the end of the session?
Yippity yippity doodles.
Kick-ass, thank you. All right. Look at all that stuff. Getting all that out of the way. We have a good time with it. We are gonna get started, but first, get us in the mood. It's been a little bit. We'll be right back after our intro. Bye-bye. Welcome back. So, one last piece of bookkeeping. Totally forgot. As we said, we are a campaign in which you can contribute to the chaos. Let's do a real quick reminder about what that means. If you look at the top right, Kyle, the embodiment of chaos, is going to be repping our chaos list here. Ways that you can add a little fun and mischief into the game, but also support the show. You can tip the show via our Streamlabs link, which is in the chat right now. Oh, thank you, Tim, for the subscription. That's also a beautiful way of doing that. We love you. So if you tip the show at any point with $5, you add a reroll to the party's reroll pool. Somebody here, tag yourself in for tracking any rerolls that might happen today. Somebody needs to keep track of that.
Anyway.
Thank you. And so $5, that gives them a reroll of any d20 that happens during the game, so they can, and those can stack. $15 tip spins the Wheel of Causality, which is a mix of in and out of game, some meta wild magic that allows everyone signed up for it, and we all agree to do it, but choose the player that you would like to be influenced by the Wheel of Causality, and then whatever happens on the wheel happens to them. $25 is one of our most popular. Create an NPC. Tell me some stuff about this NPC. Give me some description about what they look like, their pronouns, their name, maybe a fun detail about them or what they're doing in the scene, and I will do my best to incorporate them into the session. And finally, $50, DM Ex Machina. Pick a player and they get 1 minute of DM powers. A very potent, powerful tip that that has turned the tides of a couple of things and also made a meet cute, you know, so it's a toss-up about what you're actually going to be giving us a DM powers to do. I will step aside and allow that player to run. Yeah, it's all about timing. So, with that said, let's have a chat. Previously on, the party was recuperating from a couple of things. Oh, hi, Mr. Blinks. So, let me see. A couple of highlights. If I miss anything, please fill it in, but we don't need an exhaustive. It's just been a little bit. The party was trying to get back to the Feywild because they had been separated after a battle with Her Majesty of the Trade, the Fey Queen that had gone rogue, essentially, working for your, I suppose, mortal enemy. Might be giving you all a bit credit in terms of how much importance he gives you, but the Lord of Tales,
definitely at least a pain in the ass.
Sure. A malevolent force, the Lord of Tales, threatening the safety of your home, the Book of Fables, and the mortal world. You had a duke out with Her Majesty of the Trade and were able to maybe not defeat her, but at least kick her away from where she was trying to go. And when you followed her, you ended up back in the mortal realm. Oh, thank you, Graham Crackers. Much appreciated. If you want to pick a character, we'll start it off, because that'll be fun. So you all made your way to, a mortal Fort Wildwood on your island, on your home island. And it looked like the Lord of Tales had made a bit of a foothold there, making a deal with the general who existed there, and you were able to escape without being noticed that much, except by a mercenary by the name of Fear, a tiefling mercenary who caught you guys and smelled a rat, but decided to help y'all out. You seemed like you were in a bind, and you didn't seem like you were evil. So she helped you guys get out, especially after deciding that things in the fort were not great. Most of the people that were part of Fort Wildwood's forces, not super fan of the of these new paper soldiers that were around, and the drakes in the sky, the paper drakes in the sky. You also discovered, unfortunately, that a long ago incident involving Villain, your changeling companion, when he was under the influence of the Lord of Tales. You took his hand in order to save him from a gargoyle gauntlet that had been taking over. The gargoyle gauntlet was buried and left in the mushroom goblin city of Chanterelle, and apparently found its way to a new owner, a former ally of yours, Katura Youngtaker, and Katori Youngtaker was a arm wrestling champion. Harlan had a crush on her for a little bit, and she let you hang out in her swanky apartments. But it seems that she had been taken over by much more tremendously than Villain had been. And not sure whether that's a statement on Villain or a statement on how this particular possession happened. She is currently a half transformed into this ink-like gargoyle creature, and she doesn't seem to really be herself. But you were in the middle of enemy territory and you didn't really have the means to deal with that. At the moment, you had to get out. So with Fear's help, along with her blind wizard companion. I'm so sorry, Mitch, I forgot his name. Yes, everybody's mad at me for what I did. Isaac, thank you. They helped you escape and teleported you to the Feywild, right smack dab on the porch of the Baba Yaga, Paru's patron bloodline grandma of sorts. So you end up back there, you reunite with your two Tabaxi charges, Nickit and Toshi, and this whole time I've been talking and I haven't been putting them on screen. Nickit and Toshi, here's Toshi, and you all make a decision that you're going to go back into the Book of Fables. One, because time changes, time passes differently in the book compared to modern in the mortal realm, and there's no real telling how much time has passed between when you left in the middle of a battle and how long you've been out. So you rest for the night with the Babas and you go back into the book. First thing you do, though, is you land on a giant ant creature. Or somebody climbed him? Somebody climbed him.
I climbed him.
You climbed the ant creature. Yeah. That's right. So...
and I'm currently riding him, trying not to fall off.
Yes, that's accurate. Okay, so that's what's going on currently. Let's go with that. Great. So, one quick thing, Graham, did you pick somebody to roll on the wheel? I don't know if I didn't catch anything in chat, but if you wanted somebody to roll on the wheel, we can start with that. As Beza is dealing with the fact that there's a tree ant underneath her. So I don't remember almost anything about this tree ant, so we're going to start from scratch. Paru! Oh no! No! Let's go then. Alright. Wheel of causality.
Turn.
Uh-huh. I'm excited.
What did I do, Graham? What did I do to deserve this?
Absolutely nothing. Alright. Let's see.
What is this?
Malkovich. Okay. This is great. This will start off perfectly. Yep. So, Beza, you're riding this giant ant who's like, "What are you doing on me? Get off my back." And as you're all looking up, you suddenly see in a flicker of this ent slowly like trying to knock Beza off. Beza suddenly stops looking like Beza. Beza suddenly starts looking like Paru, but as a Goa.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were alive. I thought you were just a tree.
Oh, that's really weird. Villain looks down. Damn it! And Villain also looks like Paru. Only yet you look like Paru. Harlan looks like Paru. The kittens look like Paru. Everybody looks like Paru. And so everyone, please do your best Paru impression for the next scene.
I didn't even do anything.
I'm really, really sorry. I just need to get down. Can you stop moving?
You're the one climbing random people in the middle of the forest. You didn't think to look.
I didn't know you were sentient. I didn't even know trees could be.
Where are you, young
That's
lady?
true. You're hanging out with me all the time. You know trees can be sentient.
And he kind of leans down a little bit in a huff to let you down.
Sorry.
We're not from... Well, we are from around here, which has been a bit. Sorry. Are we near any of the queens? We're looking for any of them, honestly. Villain still feeling a little awkward as Paru. Queen.
How's the height feel? How's the height feel? Is this too much of a change?
And the tree kind of leans down on his branches. Queens. This land has not had queens in some time.
That
What happened to
doesn't
them?
sound right.
Huh? Abdicated.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What?
The queens.
All
Queen.
of them?
Rescinded went into the woods. Left the powers that be in charge.
What is that? Who? What?
The lands, you have the circle to the north, and the barrens to the west, or to the, not the north and west. That's not how that works. Hold on. And this is the moment where I give you guys your map.
Map.
The barrens to the day, the circle to twilight, the folk to the dawn, and the little ones, the ones with the horns to the dusk.
Where are we on this map, Angela?
Good question.
Do we know?
Good question. You're probably in the middle.
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle.
Perfect.
So we're
I'm good-
nearest the tower?
No, like right dead in the middle, like near the top of the tree.
In the trees. Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna get rid of that and I'll send it to you guys so you have the actual map in your availability. Give me a sec. So yeah, he looks down at you all. You very much aren't from around here, then.
It's been a long time.
How long ago was the big war between all the queens?
The war. Oh. I sleep a lot. I think I might have slept through the last one.
Nice.
There was a war.
Okay.
Must not have been very big.
I mean, it was pretty big. All the queens had their forces there, and it was in the Barrens area. The Queen of Trade was still here.
Oh, the tear. You mean the tear. Yes. The barons keep the tear secure.
know how long ago that one was?
He takes you and like,
Come here. It's much easier for you to see than me to explain.
and the end like takes you, Beza, and like slowly lifts you up a little bit so that you can look around. You're like suddenly in the canopy, and you glance around, and you see, based on the map, that yes, to the north you can see a large tower. You see the trees that the hunters were in are much taller now, and some of them are actually built up into sort of structures. It almost turns that ring around the Hunter's Valley into a, like, almost a keep. You see to dayward, you see the giant termite mounds have been sort of sculpted into more established castle spires, but then in the middle of the desert, between the towers and the forest line, you see a, like, almost looks like a grouping of like a small force, like a small military force, and there is very clearly some sort of, like, ripple or fissure or something in the ground there, about where you guys disappeared after the Queen of Trade.
You see, that must be the little skirmish you talk about, the war.
Well, I mean, when we were here fighting in it, it was a pretty big fight, but that's new.
Well, you are very small.
This is, well, I mean, yes.
Fair.
Even more so than usual. Nickit says, in very less raspy than normal. And fucking Button right on time. Or
Every time.
every time I mention the kittens, we got a cat on screen.
Button, what are you doing? Really? Really?
You said the queens went into the woods. Any chance you could, like, point us in the direction of the woods that they went?
The woods are everywhere. They just...
Sure. Let me be more specific. The woods where they went, as opposed to the woods as a whole.
Yes.
Any hints, any clues?
Yes.
You wanna point us in the...
Well, there are,
And he kind of shoots a crooked branch duskward.
there was some talk of them heading that direction. Something about a sabbatical, vacation, whatever that is.
Okay. It's helpful.
Huh.
And confusing. So... Cool. Great. Should we... see what the hell's going on?
Yeah, we probably should do that.
Probably.
It would be very kind of you to leave. I was in the middle of my nap.
Of course, we don't want to intrude any longer on your nap.
Yeah, sorry about climbing you. Like a tree.
Thank you for saying so.
Is that?
Right. Well,
Well, we'll
guess-
just get to walking. Thank you. Bye. And Valaine Paru walks
How long does Malkovich last again?
a scene.
A scene.
So, you begin walking duskward in the woods. And, you, all eventually notice that you have stopped looking and sounding like Paru.
oh my gosh. That's twice. There's
Yeah.
something in the air here.
That just makes everybody
Oh,
sound
now you
like
guys are
Paru.
tall again.
Oh, I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I'm still the same size.
That's true.
I'm so sorry. Is this better? And Valaine, like, shrinks a little.
Yes, that is better. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about this? And he gets a little taller than he normally is. Is that better? That's good.
Yeah. Mhm. Just just remember where I am height-wise and where I can punch.
Gets a little shorter. Noted. You wouldn't dare.
No, I wouldn't.
I mean, she might
I'm
not
not
to
mean.
you, but I can think of people she would.
Yeah, no, you're pretty safe from that.
Nick, it's like, I know that one. When in doubt.
Claws out.
I was gonna say gouge them out.
she-
I was gonna say gouge them out, but that's a little more violent, I guess.
As she does that, Paru does primal savagery and grows claws.
Ooh,
Claws out.
that's fun. And
Druids, man.
she nods like she knows what you're talking about.
I was like, what's she know? Definitely.
Yeah, I get it.
For sure.
So, you start wandering southward, and you eventually catch sight of a very familiar silhouette in the sky, the fallen tree.
Alright.
And you find that there are minotaur living in the tree. The maze has extended, and there's now growing up the tree in a way you didn't think corn could. There's like stalks going up the tree, like on the sides, like sort of like scaffolding, and you see a bunch of massive minotaur wandering around, going about their days, and you see sort of not barking orders, but giving some fervent instruction. A slightly older, maybe late middle-aged minotaur, a little bit of silver going in her hair, with thorns on her horns. Paru, you recognize Midge.
Midge!
What the fuck?
Look down.
I'm looking at you from a distance, smartass. Hey,
Same.
well, my stars. How are you? Oh my! I mean, she just kind of moves aside the minotaur she's talking to, and kind of trots up.
Good, how are you?
Fine. Just making a go of it, you know. Just expanding out. The herd's gotten a bit big for the maze.
It's this is a feat here of natural engineering. I have not
Thank
seen.
you.
Yeah, that's very neat.
I'll be honest, it's more aesthetics than anything.
Okay. So, how is things been? We just got back. For us, it's been like an hour, maybe 2, since.
No, you guys
the
have been gone
rift.
for like a day.
Slept overnight.
Like,
Yeah, you guys
it's
have been like
a
it's like
day
a day.
since
Yeah, we went to the fort.
Yeah.
We got shunted to the fort.
I don't know
We
what
had
that
to
is.
travel.
we got shunted out of the book basically and had to find
Day
our way
and a
back to
half.
it. Took about a day and a half or so.
It's been a couple years,
Oof.
but we're glad to see y'all. And who said that?
And the aunt said that the queens went on sabbatical.
That's a weird way to put it. Sure. They just when everything went down, it was a bit of a mess. But we started rebuilding, trying to shore up the coasts and such, and
Eventually, they handed the reins over to the generals that had helped save the queendom. They decided they wanted to step away from direct authority. They're still around, like wise elders sort of thing. But
Got it.
yeah, mostly in retirement.
You guys are doing okay?
Yeah, I mean, Mama gave us everything we need. We're doing our best.
I'm glad you guys are doing good.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty, we're pretty sustainable here. We just kind of hang out and farm, you know.
Be awesome.
Well, I mean, that's a given.
Absolutely. Is the circle doing okay? Sniffs and
As far as I know, yeah, they're all up in the north in the mountains. I mean, it's not the only place they are. They're still kind of everywhere. As she looks down, you do see that there's still some pretty established sort of fungal veining on the ground up the big tree.
She reaches down and just gives it a little pet.
You see a little spark of light go down the veining, and you get a little jolt back, like a little excited. And the kittens are just like slack-jawed, staring at everything.
Midge, this is Nickit and Toshi. They are our
Kittens.
Our kittens.
Well, hi there, you two. And she kind of kneels to get more
This is
eye level
Midge.
with them. Hi. Your horns look really sharp. They are.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called when you mean gore? Yeah. Yeah, I've done it a couple times. Cool.
Midge is awesome. Midge taught me a lot of what I know.
Still using it all?
All of it.
Good. What you, so y'all come back to stay, or you just passing through? What's the deal? You're asking after Mama. I assume you weren't expecting a bunch of us around here.
No, like I said, it hasn't been long for us, but I know it's been a couple years for you guys now. We're just trying to... we got shunted out in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, we know.
And so we wanted to get back as soon as we could because we didn't know where everything was left and want to check in.
Wait a minute. Did you know? Like, you heard it? Like, what are people saying about us? Just out of curiosity.
Nothing bad. No one's saying you ran off. Well, not everybody. No, but not a lot of people saying you ran off. You're like, fucking misery. That bitch. No, you, they saw you run after her. They saw you run after her and go through the portal. That's why it's still there. They didn't feel right closing it up after you in case you needed it to get back. So Barons have been guarding it, making sure nothing comes in or out, unless it's you.
That's good to know.
That is good to know, because then we're not coming through that again, so they can close it.
Yeah. You're making a face, Sunshine. What's the face?
No, I just... I don't know. My ideas have been pretty half-baked lately, apparently. Okay, well, are the queens all together?
No, I don't think so. I think some of them just settle in different spots. I know, I mean, the only one real easy to track down is, Her Majesty of the Folk. She actually is, the, former, Her Majesty of the Folk took over that town. Kind of spread out a little bit. It's a bit of a coastal region now. Bunch of little villages built up.
Okay.
Not hard to find her, just, look for the biggest party.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Do you know where any of the other queens went?
Well, Mama headed north in the mountains. And, I think, well, Her Majesty of Beauty, I don't think went anywhere. I think she's still in the ice at the top of Twilight. I'm not sure about the others.
Except that folks probably by the ocean.
Oh yeah, she that's her haunt. She happily took it over.
That's good to know.
Sorry I couldn't be more help.
No, it's just wonderful to see you.
Yeah, you too, darling.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's good to see a friendly face. And find out a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, it's been a time. Well, if you need anything, you know we're always here.
I appreciate it.
Of course. Of course. She kind of... She hip checks you a little bit.
Haru, with her strength, does not go flying.
Hey! Hey. Paru, you see a little of spores from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a little whiff of wait, you don't go anywhere. And
we have been coming.
And you just hear
She just does a
and a
turn around.
Yeah, you see barreling towards you a big burly mushroom. And Sniffs just barrels into you. Picks you up.
Huge hug.
Just like holds you out, puts you back in, and holds you out, and then puts you back in.
Yeah. I missed you too, buddy.
I love it.
And tosses you up a little bit, puts you back down.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh my god, I want to do that. Me next. And Toshi just like waiting in line like at a theme park.
Sniffs, this is Nickit and Toshi.
Hi.
Nickit, Toshi, this is Sniffs. Sniffs is like we go way back.
Yeah, I love mushrooms. And Nick is like, shut up. Not like that. I mean, mushrooms are friends.
Damn straight.
Can I go next? Please? And the mushroom's like, looks down.
Yeah,
and,
go for it.
like, picks him up with a hand. He's like, yeah. Elaine's like, well, that'll keep him occupied for a while.
Yeah.
So what's the plan?
I guess.
No, we don't know for sure that any of them are down this way or not. We just know that Midge doesn't know where any of the other ones are, and we only have confirmed locations for a few, and it's not around here.
Yeah,
Do you have sending yet?
Oh my god, I do. You're right. I guess I could just check. Should I just call them?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom. We're in the neighborhood.
Like, where are you?
Mom, come pick me up. Yeah, I straight
Mom,
up
send the
have
driver. Where's Sigfrin?
Mommy, send the car.
Oh my
my-
god. Don't call her the car.
Okay.
You'll have to
yeah.
walk everywhere for the rest of eternity if
You
she
will.
ever
Nobody
hears.
tells Nick when I made that joke. Yeah, okay. Sure, I guess I'll cast Sending
Okay.
to the Queen of the Word.
Cool.
Oh gosh, okay.
The grand word limit.
Yeah. I will say we're home. We got back as quickly as we could. Seems as though there's been some big changes. Where can I find you? It's Oliette.
I gathered. Thank
2
you.
words left.
We're in the mountains, in my keep. I'm not sure how far off you are, but I'm sure you can find your way here with little trouble. Do you need assistance?
I'll cast Sending again.
Okay.
We're in the middle, some woods, near where the Minotaurs are hanging out. Further south, would love a ride, if that's an option. Love you.
Oh my god. I'll see what I can whip up.
You're in so much trouble.
You hear the eye roll and smirk on her voice. And so you end the sending, and everybody just kind of sits tight for a bit. Paru, you get a bit of a conversation with Sniffs. There are many more myconids, mushroom folk. And he confirms the same stuff that you heard from Midge, that they were left basically left, the land was given in trust to them and to some of the other armies, essentially. And for the most part, things have been fairly peaceful, though not the easiest, just because there was a lot of destruction. The battle spilled out a little bit past the desert. You see a little, well, you don't actually see anything because it's all relative to you. But you get the sense that there was a lot of dealing with Her Majesty of the Trades people, the things she had summoned from other books, like banishing them and destroying them and stuff. And there was a lot of time of trying to get rid of them even after the battle. They kind of were still little pockets here and there.
She'll kind of convey as best she can, like the idea of coming, the idea that the Lord of Tales seems to have infiltrated like outside the book, like where we normally are now, and like our home and everything. But at the same time, relief that at least he's not here. His influence isn't here anymore, and that makes her happy.
Yeah. Sniffs is pretty confident that they haven't seen much of him here at all.
Awesome.
Especially after she left. Though they keep an eye out. They always have their, they always have their feelers out.
Their feelers are out, yeah.
Or spores to the ground.
Yeah. Let me think. Gonna roll to see what Her Majesty of the Word does. Okay, so you do you guys just hang out and stay with the Minotaur and the tree, or do you wander, start heading somewhere?
From where we are?
We should at least probably start traveling north.
Yeah, I imagine if there's a way to start making our way there, but keeping ourselves very out in the open so that we could be spotted easily either by ground or by air.
Sounds good.
Yeah. She gives Pargo gives Midge a hug, and she will keep in touch and
see you around. I turn around for 10 minutes. What the hell? I got it.
Yeah, no worries.
She marches off. Starter druids. What are you gonna do?
Right?
So, y'all start making your way north through the woods again, keeping an eye to the sky, looking for any sign of Sigfin. And you while you're traveling a little dusk to twilight, so the sky's a little dark as you're traveling. Eventually you see more of those mushrooms growing into trees, and more of the kind of fungal growth in the ground, the root system. And you get another a little ways up, you get another sudden poof, 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 and another sniff shows up, and he's like, and he like pauses and he like tells you to stop.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
And he gives you a little wave. And he looks around and he goes for one of the trees that have been super overgrown with mushrooms and puts his hand to it, and you see more of those lights kind of fractal off along the root systems. And then you hear like a rumble. Not an Italian pizza restaurant. You hear a rumble, and one of the trees starts starts opening a little bit and creating a bit of a almost a doorway, and you see all of this vining start peeling out of the tree and pulling it open. And
nice.
It's a pretty big opening, way bigger even for Harland, and you realize after a little bit that the reason you make that so big is because your horns are too big to fit through the door. And through the tree, you see another Minotaur, except this one very tall, very regal, vining, her gown made of moss and vines and leaves, and this large mantle of moss coming off her shoulders. Her horns huge and double pronged, and there are briar vines growing out of them. And you see Her Majesty of the Vine, looking a lot better than she did when you last saw her. She looks a little older, but not bad. She looks very centered. Mouse, I thought you wrote moom, not mom. Took a second. It's also valid. And she steps out, and she's only 8, maybe 7 feet tall. She's not her full 10. Only.
This Paro is barely 2 feet tall.
And she bows her head through the hole and peers out at all of you with this little sigh of a smile.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, it's really good to see you.
Welcome back. Sorry for the delay. I'm glad I found you as you were walking. It's okay. And she, well, you notice that, like, out of weirdly sheer impulse, Verlaine kind of nodded his head, like down in like a kind of respectful way. And Her Majesty of the Vine comes up to you, Paru, and gets a little smaller as she walks towards, only 6 feet tall now, and kneels down on one knee and embraces you.
Paro gives her a huge hug. I would very much like to introduce you to 2 people who are very special to me.
All right.
And she motions Nikit and Toshi forward. This is Nishit
and Toki.
Nishit and Toki. This is Nikit and Toshi. Nikit Toshi, this is Her Majesty of the Vine.
Hello.
I am her champion.
Oh. Toshi's like, hello. He doesn't have a hat on. Hello there.
They've gotten to hear a lot about our adventures in the book, but have never gotten to come in until now, so.
Well, welcome. We'll have to make sure you have quite the adventure. Yes, please. And they're just kind of like, not weirdly bashful, but they're quiet. She's got far more so than the last time you saw her, she has quite a presence. Something maternal yet divine, intimidating, but also weirdly comforting. It's a strange combination, but it's been a while since you've seen her like this, so.
It makes Paru incredibly happy to see.
Well, it was my understanding that you needed a ride.
Yes,
Yes, please.
that would be lovely. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
You look great, by the way. I don't know, like, I know we're not, but, like, I'm just letting you know. Love whatever you're doing here.
I appreciate it.
It's very good.
Some peacetime and quiet time can do you wonders.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll know about that.
Someday.
Someday. Come this way, then. We'll get you all sorted, I guess.
Thank you.
And she brushes away her cloak and basically just gestures for you to go through the doorway in the tree.
I gotta learn how to do this.
Oh, and she like squeezes your shoulder a little bit. Oh, you'll figure it out.
I can do short distances. Short I can do. I just can't, like, long distances.
We'll get you there.
All right.
Rad.
So you all step through. And you are on a mountainside. It's a little crisper in the air, but yet there's parts of it that seem familiar. You've been up in this mountain range before, but one major difference, and obviously it does occur to you since you exit a tree, that this mountain is now lush with sort of evergreens and grass. And moss is growing up with the trees. This is a very fertile mountain in a way that it was a little more, barren before.
Huh.
It's almost like a mix of aesthetics right now. And you see up the mountain path, you see the temple. You see Her Majesty of the Word's sanctum, also covered in natural growth. There's trees around and vining and things. And you also see, perched up in one of these big trees, you see a very large black bird with a few streaks of gray. And you start, and as you exit, and Her Majesty of the Vine steps out after you. She gives this big breath of air. She seems like she's very relieved to be back here. And, I hope you don't mind a little bit of a jaunt. Just a little bit ways up there.
Fine.
Toshi jumps up on Valaine's shoulders, like, oh, okay. I guess some people are ready for a jaunt.
I would offer to give him a piggyback ride, but his feet would just touch the ground.
Not if you changed into something.
I was gonna say, I thought you could turn into animals. It's fine, I got him.
Haru shifts into a dire elk
And Toshi, like,
and kneels down.
Toshi climbs Valaine's back and just leaps off his shoulders onto you. Oh, fine, yeah, I see how it is. And he's just like, this is so much better. Thanks a lot. Yeah, cool.
She looks at Lane and kind of kneels like, do you want on? I can carry both of you.
Nah, I'm good.
She looks over at Nickit.
Yeah, okay. And she just hops up. Like one leap. And does sort of struggle a little bit at the top. Like, trying to play it off like she's fine. She always she's
Claws.
it's yep, that's fine. Elaine chuckles a little bit, seeing the elk wince. So you all start making your way up the mountain. It's not that far of a ride/walk. It's probably about 10-15 minutes.
It's probably actually much easier for Part.
Oh yeah, the elk is the first one up. Toshi's just like, can you run? Can you go faster?
Yeah. She kind of nods and
Oh,
does a little
just
trot.
holding on to the elk horns.
She'll just do a little trot. She's not gonna break into like a full gallop.
You just keep hearing,
Unless
faster! You don't have to. You just hear it.
When they actually get there, she'll do like a lap around at a full gallop.
Woo! You just hear Valaine's big, there'll be no living with them at this.
I mean, at least it's faster.
We want them to have the fun, carefree adventure we didn't get. Let them have their fun.
He calms down a little bit. Yeah, I guess you're right.
They deserve it, the good kids.
And
Oh my god, Bex!
oh, you didn't see?
That one, Bex. No, I just saw it.
It's very good. So you make your way up, and as you get up towards the keep, you see the large raven make a couple of hops from the tree to the keep to a slightly lower branch and then down. And Sigfinn starts like preening a little bit. Let's see. Paru, you're more nature-y. Go ahead and give me a medicine check. Or nature or medicine, whichever's better.
They're the same for me.
Okay.
16.
16? Sigfinn doesn't look like she's got full wing mobility. So she's land bound, looks like, or she climbed. And she kind of comes down, preens a little bit, and sees the elk, kind of, and the kittens just don't know what to make of her. They're just very still as you ride by the giant raven. And Nicket's like, oh my god, it's the giant bird. I didn't think it was that big. When you described it. Her. I didn't think she was that big.
Yep.
Haru will stop and kneel down for the kittens to dismount.
Toshi's just kind of holding onto your antlers.
It's okay.
Slides down.
She'll turn
Good
back
to
into
see
herself.
you.
It's been terribly too long. You brought me a snack or two.
They may not know that you are joking.
Doesn't that make it funnier?
That's fair.
Just don't torment our kids too much.
Too much. By whose measure?
It's enough.
Just enough. And Sigfinn just kind of crowns down a little bit, like, and you see just Toshi just.
It's okay. It's okay.
And she doesn't pester them too much.
Oh, are you?
Well, I was taking a very nice sun nap before a bunch of noisy children came by.
Yeah. That's fair.
And Her Majesty of the Vine starts ambling up at the end of the group and calls out and says, Sigfinn took her bumps. She'll be fine. Just a bit of recuperation. That was the wrong accent. It's fine.
I am.
We'll say she was mocking Sigfinn. And yeah, so you see, like, Sigfinn reaches out with one of her wings, and you do see that it's been, like it's definitely, like, not fully, like, it's been clawed and messed up a little bit.
Is it past healing or?
I mean,
or
it's scarred over.
So like a healing spell wouldn't help. Right?
Probably not. You imagine that Her Majesty the Vine did what she could.
Yeah.
And oh, we got a bell. Do we do something wild magic when she gets the bell?
I don't know, but maybe we should start.
So
That
far.
was weird. Did you see the flop and the look like I didn't do anything after?
Yeah, there was a
That's the
tap
ridiculous.
tap. I don't know what you're talking about.
If
Not
we
at
do
all.
something every time she rings a bell, we're gonna be doing a whole lot of wild magic.
It's like those nightmare drinking games. You will die.
Yeah, the Dark Crystal drinking game. Do not recommend. Do not.
What is that? Every time David Bowie's crotch garners too much attention.
That was Labyrinth.
Oh, what did you say?
No, it was Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
Anytime there was a Muppet, anytime somebody said Gelfling.
Oh, Gelfling. I was gonna say the Gelfling one. That's a recipe for disaster.
Oh my god, we were yeah, no. Oh, hi button. Hi button.
Amazing. I really thought she was gonna try to like leap across the room.
She has the zooms right now.
I can see it in her eyes. But yeah, so Sigfinn kind of shakes out the wing and tucks it back. Moves around a little bit. You see she's got some scarring and stuff.
I'm sure you'll be back to hunting in no time.
Hunting?
From the treetops.
My dear, why do you assume that I do any of my own hunting? I'm far too important for that.
That's very true.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's nice to be back.
It's very good to see you.
That could have been bad, young lady. This is just a dramatic series of events. And so Her Majesty the Vine invites you into the fort. And most of you have not been here before. It feels very much Her Majesty of the Word's style. Massive stone structure, echoey, very authoritative.
Beautiful.
And Aliette, you step in and there's this moment where you sort of wait and you do not hear any sounds of the ocean.
I was just going to say, the second I step inside, I'm listening for the ocean.
You just hear clicking of your feet on the ground. And
knock off Louboutin.
And yeah, it's just quiet. There's this sort of echoey calm.
I probably at this point, if everybody's making their way in, I would let go of Harlan's hand and start heading directly to the study. Like, I already know where I need to check first.
Just immediately turn off. And you peek into the study and you don't see her. Not.
Does it look disheveled and wild still, or has it been cleaned up?
It only looks a little disheveled in that there are some trees growing in the corners of the room.
Makes you do great. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Great. Well, I will just rejoin
You
the group, I
do
guess.
actually, before you go, you see the two seats at the fireplace, and there is one tea set, like one setting for tea with a little bit of tea at the bottom. There's like leaves on the bottom, and then there is an empty tea set on the other side next to the other seat. And you hear behind you in the hallway, Her Majesty of the Vine. I've returned with them. And she just starts trotting forward. When you come back out, Aliette, you see her walking towards an area you had not ventured, really. Partly because that was where the sounds of the ocean were coming from, and you're like, I don't want to fuck with that. And you all follow her through this relatively bare but very big foyer into an even bigger space. It's filled with sunlight, and you see this huge, almost cathedral library full of books. 2 floors. There's another railing across, like on the on the second floor where you can overlook everything, and there's just books floor to ceiling on each floor. And it is packed. There's slight dust in the air, and you think you see like butterflies or birds up in the ceiling areas. There's again sort of a canopy going on of like vine and tree built into the cathedral space. It adds an organic quality to what is normally a very, like I said, very Notre Dame, very stone. There's vining on the buttresses and all sorts of stuff. And there's just this warm sunlight coming in from windows on the ceilings, these sort of like angled little panes of glass. The whole place is very, it's like a greenhouse with books in it, in the sense of like the lighting and the vibe. And you kind of wander around. The kittens are slack-jawed again. Even Harland and Valine are like, oh shit. And just looking around, and as Her Majesty the Vine comes in, you see coming down from one of the stairs, there's like some curved stairs that come down from the second story. You see Her Majesty of the Vine, her dress in that white lace. Her hair is down, though it's pulled back a little bit out of her eyes at the top. She has her long elf ears. And she does not look quite as frazzled as she did before. She looks a little bit more herself. And Her Majesty the Vine walks up to her, and they meet at the middle of the stairs. And Her Majesty the Vine like stops a few stairs below because she's a little taller than her, and the word kind of like pushes hair from Her Majesty the Vine's face, and then she looks down to all of you. Welcome back. Glad to see you're all safe.
You too.
A little worse for wear, but otherwise in one piece.
New?
Yes. Felt a little like a change.
Yes.
Different but happier. And she's looking at both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Her Majesty the Vine speaks up first. Much. Well, I suppose that once again you arrive back on our shores a bit disconcerted and out of place. What can I do to ease that discomfort on your face, my dear?
There's just a lot happening. It's been a very long 36 hours for us, and apparently an even longer one for you. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind.
Before we fill in the time with even more of a whirlwind, why don't we rest? You can take your ease here if you wish. Take a breath.
Maybe briefly.
As long
But
as
I
you
think-
need.
There's a lot to catch you up on, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But we could eat first. We did bring two people. One does function as like 8 when it comes to eating, but these are 2 of our companions. This is Toshi and Nicket. This is...
Hi.
Are you still my queen?
I maintain the titles, but not the responsibilities, I am pleased to say.
This is my queen.
And they, oh, so doesn't have a hat.
Wait, hold on.
At some point, like, Villain tries to stop him from doing that. Doesn't get it in time.
Maybe a meal or some tea or something. A break.
Absolutely. Please sit wherever you wish. I will get tea.
While she's doing that, I guess I'll ask Vine. Do you guys have a way to contact the other queens? Do you all still talk and meet at all? This might be something we should tell everyone.
There is a means of reaching out, yes. I can send a message or two through the circle.
We are good at delivering messages.
Yes, you are. Though we've functionally given up the throne. We've stepped aside. We do still function as, we are available for consult if somebody has questions, or if there are larger decisions to be made that have to do with our previous reign. We are willing to sit and listen. So we can gather if it is needed.
It might be helpful. There are
Yes.
updates that I think would be relevant to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Your generals
Besides-
stay home. Like, they're not invited.
They are no longer our generals. They do not stand for. They do not stand at arms for us.
Oh,
Besides,
does
it'd
this
be
mean
a much easier way to introduce Nicket and Toshi to everybody.
That's true. Does this mean my dad's running things now?
In the Hunter's Valley, yes. Lord, Tuskendale, the brain.
Food and
Yes.
and then
Please rest. If you require anything, there are hot springs. It's actually rather cozy after she let me have a little look around.
Hot Springs sounds nice.
it does sound nice.
Her Majesty the Vine sort of sidles up next to you, Oliette, and puts a hand on your shoulder. We must take our time and care for ourselves if we are to be at our best. Even if it doesn't feel like you have the time for it. You do, I promise.
We'll see. Yes, It's been a very jarring week. I am glad, however, that your new chapter has started, after all. I'll give her like a pat on the hand a little bit.
Thank you.
So,
She gets up and follows.
I'm actually probably going to rummage around this library while people go to the
Oh
hot
yeah,
springs.
heck yeah. Let me see who else is gonna do that. Harlan will hang out with you. Nickit wants to look around the library. Toshi thinks that if he hangs around the library, he'll get the food faster. So he's gonna hang out, sit on one of the tables.
Okay.
And so that sounds like Paru and Villain. Beza, which way do you want to go?
I feel like Base is more likely to go to the hot springs than look around the library.
Sounds good. So, I'll break y'all up. Olette, if you want to give me a... Let's call it an investigation check.
Oh. Oh my god, that landed on a bunch of other dice. Hold on. Investigation? 14.
What in particular would be of interest to you?
Gosh. I think I am looking for... I'm mostly just perusing. I'm curious as to what type of information is available in this library. I feel like this room was often referred to, but not often visited because my grubby little hands were not ready. But I'm also, if I happened to see anything about bargains with Fae or interesting ways those might be broken, I wouldn't be opposed.
Okay.
To stumbling across that information.
Sure. With a 14, you find that a lot of the books in here you have browsed a little bit before. This is a lot of things brought to you based on questions that you had or interests that you had. In terms of Fae matters, let me see. Books. Go ahead and give me a D100.
Okay. Where's my 10? There it is. 71.
71. Let's see. Awesome. You find a very, oh man, like you're just kind of glancing around and you find something that is like so good for you. You find the Perpexodon of Narge, which is insane geometry and esoteric poetry. As you start like leafing through it, it hurts your brain to even like consider most of what's in here. You try to appreciate the poetry, but if anyone's ever watched or listened or read The Hitchhiker's Guide, it's very much... I don't remember the name of the alien species, but it's very much their poetry. But you do sense that there is some arcane knowledge to be gleaned from the book. So you could ask to check it out.
Hold on to it till I get back down the stairs and ask if I can just borrow it while I'm here. I just want to thumb through it.
Sure. Awesome. I will send you the
Thank you.
title. It's so dumb.
I was also gonna say, if I see maybe not, it's not a huge deal. If I see an old book that I loved when I was young, maybe something about a warrior or somebody very brave, some kind of hero, I would like to, if I see it, I want to grab it and give it to Nickit to look at.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's, get a... Sure. You find a story that is a comedic folktale about a sly acrobat.
Oh, perfect.
I pulled this out of a generator, but it'll be fun. It says, and feel free to do whatever you want with this. The tale involves a village idiot, a strong mother figure, an oracle, a tournament, and an unexpected death.
Yeah, throw that in the chat. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will very gingerly hand the book over and encourage them to give it a look.
And they have a little...
Somebody dies in it.
How far into it?
I'm not going to tell you. Or
It's
you're just gonna skip to that.
unexpected. You have to read it.
You have to read it.
Excuse me. So she starts leafing through it. And so yeah, so a juggler on the roof. Fuck you, Kyle. I mean, that's definitely what it's called, but...
Gosh.
Oh, I hate it. It's just Guy's origin story. Amazing.
Oh my god, amazing.
So, Harland is just like, yeah, lots of books. Definitely books. I can hold your books for you if you want.
He lives.
I can only imagine there's like a stack. Like every time I see something interesting, I'm like stacking the stack higher and higher in Harlan's arms.
And so yeah, so you have a little bit of time to just lose yourself. Kyle, they got them tiles on them and everything. Barely any of them have pictures. Means they're fancy.
That's how you know they're good.
More room for words. And so you have this moment of just being able to kind of lose yourself a little bit in the stacks. Not an indulgence you commonly get to have. So, the other two, with Villain, head past the books, past the library area into a slightly more raw stone area. Looks recently carved out. You recognize the signs of somebody moving earth and stone in order to create a space. And there's this little cavern, and you immediately get hit with the smell of incense and humidity as you get into this almost like spa-like spot. And
Wait.
I mean, you know what this big tale of daring do was missing was a hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys relax. You get a little bit of I mean, Villain's just like, you know, Toshi doesn't look it, but he's packing on the kilos a little bit, and he keeps jumping on my shoulders like he still weighs like an ounce. And so he's peeling off his chest, not chest plate. He's not wearing. Well, I guess he is. I guess he's wearing like his armor, but he takes off like the shoulder pauldrons and stuff.
Do you
Do
need
you
help?
Do you want help?
Yeah, sure. And he sits down, feet in the water, and like lets you guys help him get out of his armor. Still getting used to how to. And it's not as heavy as you expect. It's very.
Really?
If he really wanted to, he probably could take it off himself. Now that I think of it, it should probably be armor of doffing and donning, but
Cast off armor. Yeah, but I mean, we're there, and
Yeah,
we
that's
offered
fine.
to help him, so.
So you help him out, and he's just like, "Thank you."
Of course.
And
I
after
don't mind going elk either to help carrying him.
I was about to say, like, I don't think I need an elk right now, but thank you.
No, not right now.
And for a little bit, you just see Villain take this deep inhale of steam and deep exhale, and kind of flex his prosthetic a bit. And he probably, honestly, when you guys go into the water, he probably takes it off just to kind of rest his arm. And you all hang out in the hot springs. It is, you get this like gentle sound of trickling water coming down the rocks. Occasionally there's this little like of steam that comes up out of the ground. It's almost like, it's like a gentle spa version of like a when like a volcanic eruption's happening and there's like steam and stuff comes out of the cracks in the ground, but it's just like gentle wafting steam. And yeah, you just Button curls up next to some of the heat. And you get this moment to just exhale.
Haru's gonna let a little of the phosphorescent spores kind of light around the top, just to give it a little,
Ambiance, yeah.
No matter how many times I see you do that, it's always pretty.
Thank you. It's a very handy trick.
And there's this lull between the three of you. And Villain speaks up after a little bit. So, I guess we're looking for your mom then, Beza.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like the other queens are gonna contact him, so...
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it. She's somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have to obviously go see my dad. Otherwise, I'm never gonna hear the end of it the next time we're back.
He's gotta find out he's grandpa.
Mm-hmm. He's probably gonna freak out.
Can't wait to see that conversation.
How fast do you think he will cry?
She won't get the word out before he's in tears.
He'll see them and just start bawling. He's a softie.
I did mention that we had sort of taken on some I don't remember if I called them our kids or not, but I definitely told him we had some kids traveling with us. Now if I call him Grandpa...
No, Grandpapa.
Grandpapa?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Grandpapa Tuscandale?
Yeah.
Grandpapa?
He's a lord now, you know.
That's true.
Grandpapa, it's me. Sorry.
Annabeza.
Annabeza.
Does that... Huh. I don't know how that works. Does that mean I'm technically a lady? That's so strange.
I don't know. I don't think you should read too much into it. Nobility does something to people. All get heirs.
I don't need air.
Yeah, so you can't be a lady.
That's alright. Being a knight's more fun anyway, probably.
Yeah, I think so. There we go. We almost killed Lane. That's the important part. We've done our job today.
Yes.
Yeah, he's probably gonna absolutely freak out. And I don't even know what Iverick's gonna do when I tell him he's an uncle.
Probably toss Toshi around again.
Probably.
Make sure he doesn't eat before he does that.
Ooh, good call.
A little carbonation. Use him as a weapon next time we run into something.
Haru's gonna just kind of close her eyes and then just lean on Villain's shoulder for a minute.
You good, short stack?
Yeah, just relaxed and a little tired.
Fair.
Do you guys think we're ever gonna get to take some sabbaticals?
I mean, what, this doesn't count? A micro sabbatical?
This is more like, oh, what's the word they use for those? A staycation, because we're at home but relaxing.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm a little mad at it.
You want to go somewhere else?
No, this is fine. I'm good.
I'm only mad at it because it means at some point we have to go back.
Yeah. I mean,
We gotta anyways.
yeah, we do.
Yeah, I mean, we don't technically have to, but we have to.
Yeah, some people need to. Not all of us can just pick up and hang out in the book.
Very true.
When all this is over, do you want to stay here? Or do you want to go back and forth like we've been doing?
I mean, for me, it's gonna depend on what you all decide to do, and what's going on with my dad and my mom. I was literally just like a day old before we ended up here, so I don't know anything else other than you guys and them. Your family and your home, so it depends on what happens with everyone else.
Yeah. Home isn't a place anymore, it's definitely people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
We probably should head back up at some point. Don't want to keep everybody waiting too long.
Yeah. Philaten says yeah, and then just immediately goes quiet again.
Yeah, Barbara did not move.
It takes another couple minutes for you guys to actually
Not
leave.
moved.
Yeah, we don't want you guys to get wrinkly.
Likely anyway.
I only get half wrinkly. He lifts up a hand and an arm.
3/4, because your toes do also.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And, alright, fine. Come on. You just very gingerly slips out. He, hops out
You
of
are
the...
more comfortable than you have any right to be, you know that?
I've never been told that. And he offers a hand to pull you up out of the water.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay. Oh no. I have to put it all on again. Damn it.
I mean, not right away.
You don't have
Yeah,
to put the armor on.
that's a good point. And he just like puts the glove back, he puts the prosthetic back on and then starts grabbing individual pieces of armor and and they go into his hand.
There you go.
Alright. I got it figured out.
Awesome.
And, yeah, let's go find the fuddy-duddies.
All right.
And as you come in, Villain's like, hey, bookworms! Solve the mysteries of the universe yet?
Working on it. Did you enjoy your bath?
Very much so. I feel pampered.
Lucky you. there's no way I'm peeling out of this, so. So dinner should be soon, I imagine.
Yeah, I should be doing some. Sorry, that was a terrible noise. It's hard to sniff when there's just like a lot going on in the yeah. Anyway, he sniffs the air in a very non-congested way, and and you can just tell that Toshi is very aware of the state of things. And my brain just went the state of Denmark. Anyway, so that was a din joke. So eventually, yeah, their majesties call you all in, and there is actually some semblance of a dining room in a section of the room, in the section of the keep that, like, oh yeah, again, you've like never used it, and it is that mix of rustic, natural, almost like the table is like a long banquet version of those tables that you grow out of trees, like you naturally grow it out of a tree piece. Kyle?
We miss you, Kyle.
I swan to John. Oh my god. Hold on. I was gonna put it in the chat, in the stream for posterity. Alright. And you all get a chance to eat and again, sort of refresh a little bit, reset your brains, and get a sense of what it feels like to be a person, instead of constantly moving. And Her Majesty the Vine reaches out to the other queens via the circle of spores, and we'll just kind of fade to that. You are very far, what you would consider Twilightward, up here in the mountain. And with very little effort, especially given that Her Majesty the Vine can, like, teleport you via plants, you find yourselves eventually very far twilight. And it is night, and above you, you can see stars, and it is very cold. Everything is covered in ice, and fascinatingly, you see up ahead a structure of some kind made of flowing water, almost mirror shiny. As you get closer, you see that on the glacial flow is some sort of keep of her own. You only really note, you see yourselves coming forward. It's almost invisible in the dark. And up in the ramparts of this small sort of crystalline, mirrored castle sort of space, you see the aurora just kind of rippling in the sky, and a figure up in the ramparts, painting in it, like motioning with a brush, and the aurora kind of shifting and changing color and moving with her, with every stroke of the brush, with this long feathered attachment on the end of the quill. And you all gather in this keep where there are thrones. Inside it is a small version of the throne room for the queens. And you see 5 instead of 6 thrones. And the queens are all assembled. You see, rather, they eventually assemble as you get there. The Queen of the Hunt has a few more scars from various activities. One assumes that some of them are from the actual battle in the desert. And Her Majesty of the Folk, how to, she looks like herself. She's got her, like, body tavern girl look. She's also sporting, in an almost mocking way, what is definitely some sort of naval admiral hat. Like, I took your town, bitch, kind of vibe. She has added a few bits of, like, netting and marine fashion to her look. And oh yeah, an eye patch, but it's up.
Hot.
And and so yeah, so they've all gathered. And Her Majesty of Beauty, as usual. That sort of variable appearance depending on the person.
Toshi just sees a full banquet.
It's just Looney Tunes where somebody turns into a ham. No, it's just
Toshi's like, it's
for Toshi it's just the barefoot Contessa.
Oh my god, but that's real though.
I know.
That's very real. That resonates with me.
It's just Julia Childs.
She stopped me.
Her Majesty of Beauty told me I had to have the courage of my convictions, and then showed me how to make an omelet.
It's okay if you don't.
Lawson.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that good vanilla.
Good vanilla. Yes.
God, it's fine.
Anyway,
If you don't have Majesty of Beauty vanilla, store-bought is fine.
so they have all arrived. It's a bit more serious at the start, before anybody gets a chance to really say hello. And we don't have to go through it all play by play, but why don't you let me know what sort of things you are discussing with them?
Probably chatted about it at dinner the night before, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Especially since Beza didn't actually see half of it, so
That's true.
I was inside
In the hand.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all new for Beza too.
Beza's like, what? Yeah, that. So we would definitely let them know that the Lord of Tales is intensely active in the plane that we come from, has taken control of an otherwise mortal run heap, and kind of walk them through the gist of what happened as we chased the traitor through the portals, so that they understand that he's leaving trail, like he's giving her ways to get to him, and had been doing so apparently for some time, we can assume. He has the instrument that we freed Verlaine from has been taken up again, so he has another pseudo champion working for him now.
Verlaine chimes in when you talk about that. I have been thinking about it a bit. And he looks to Her Majesty of the Word. Your Majesty, when, it's probably unusual for somebody to be leaving the book that was born in the book, correct? And she nods. We haven't had any sort of issues with that since we had physical bodies, and I'd been wondering what would happen if Her Majesty, if the former Queen of the Trade were to make her way out of the book into the material world, how would that work? Would she be, and Her Majesty the Word sort of considers for a moment. Suppose it would stand to reason that there would be in the same way that he is able to create paper vessels for minions, he could do the same for her. That's fair. I hadn't, sure. There was also another consideration that I am much less comfortable with, but is possible. And he glances at all of you. He hasn't said any of this to you guys. He'd been chewing on this for a bit. Our friend who's been taken by his powers, made stronger and more in his image, I guess. What if she was supposed to be a vessel for his queen? I'm probably catastrophizing. Toshi, what'd you call me? But it was just, it's been gnawing at me a little bit. What her plan was when she got there.
Terrible. I mean, it's...
No, it's straight up a terrible thing.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination that it's something that we shouldn't consider. It's a terrifying consideration.
I mean, it would make sense. Especially because, like you said, there's no physical body out there unless, unless he was gonna somehow take over, Baba Ghazi?
I don't think that the Fae Queens are likely candidates to be overtaken so easily.
No, I would agree. It would go very poorly for him.
One more time, Molia.
I'm muted.
Fuck.
I do think we should keep in mind that Kat is much further gone than Blaine was.
Yeah, I can't cut it off of her. There wouldn't be enough left.
As much as I hope that this is not the case, we may not be able to do anything for her
At least not as directly as we did for Verlaine.
Right. We would have to consider him still to be our primary target if we can find him. He also had done something, has struck some bargain with a general or someone. It doesn't seem like the most stable arrangement, given that a lot of the individuals that were already occupying this keep seem very uncomfortable with the paper soldiers, so there is potential for disruption.
We do have a couple of inns there.
Yeah, I mean, you remember we told you about all the mechanical things running the place we're from? Well, the people who don't want to be controlled by them anymore. Apparently, that general got kind of taken in by the Lord of Tales, it sounds like. He promised help, and the general doesn't know any better, so he's like, okay.
Desperate for aid. Now that is concerning that I would keep an eye on that as much as possible. What is to be done about the, if this army, this general, are they preparing for some sort of incursion?
For something. Haru saw some letters that were being sent out en masse. It seems like they're trying to gather more forces, although I don't think we fully understand what their next move will actually be.
I mean, we do know that they're probably planning to attack one of the chronograms.
They've already one of them.
Yeah. So they're probably planning to hit another one. One thing that concerns me, and actually this just occurred to me, so now I'm really worried. The general, the one who's working with the Lord of Tales, he doesn't know, but those cities are keeping the chaos underneath them somewhat controlled. And I'm a little worried about all that chaos magic suddenly possibly being available to someone who's got semi-fae origins and a penchant for chaos and evil.
I think that's his goal.
That's what I'm worried about.
Can't you call God again? Don't you have aren't you all like this now?
You call
you mean those
God?
mechanical assholes that called me a remainder and said I wasn't supposed to exist?
Sure, but we can use that to our advantage, because if we are a remainder, what on earth would you call the Lord of Tales?
An imaginary number?
Hey, math jokes. You get the highbrow humor now. Welcome, Raiders.
So, yes, there is quite a bit happening, and as much as we would like to stay, we are more useful there than we are here. If things are in hand?
Things are for the most part stable, yes. We have some semblance of peace. If it is your wish, we could endeavor to close the tear. If we wish to shore up our defenses.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, especially since you know that we don't need to go through it now.
Well, we could.
Just there's something bothering me. I feel like there's a way to... Do you remember that first room that she took us to, or maybe the second, that had all those portals in it? There has to be a way to shut more stuff down, to close more doors to her. I don't know how safely, but I feel like it's worth thinking about. Even if we don't decide to, we can, of course, close the portal that leads here. I do think that should happen eventually.
Her Majesty of Beauty speaks up. there could be some manner to disrupt it if it's just a pathway through the tomes. My power would work there. Her Majesty of the Word's power would work there. It seems like there might be some option. If you're thinking that it limits her ability to move.
Just a guess.
I wouldn't mind trapping her somewhere she doesn't want to be.
You know, Basil, like how whenever you're like doing stuff in the forest and then you like do a stick over your footprints and like whatever, the whole
What you're describing is
your tracks?
Yes, but the thing, like, what I'm trying to say is maybe there's just a way to prevent it from being so easy
for her to camp?
for her to get back.
I mean, she was definitely looking for marks when we were following her. She kept looking for signs and symbols that told her where to cut to get to the next portal.
You don't suppose we could figure out what those marks are and replicate them? Maybe lead her somewhere else if she's still floating around out there, do you?
If you could find one that existed before, one that you found before.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to pin her down. That would increase our chances of helping Kat, right?
I mean, probably. There was the one on that, the giant hand that we were riding around in.
My favorite, I know I was blind at the time, but of all of them, that was my favorite. It was very, very cool.
I would imagine that I could send some help with you.
That could be fun.
And I'm looking at the rest of our group. We don't have to. It's just we are coming in at a major disadvantage in a lot of ways. If they are going to be sneaky, we might have to be sneaky ourselves to a degree. I cannot do any of this without you, so whatever you think is best.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I do think if we're gonna do it, we should be a little more prepared with gear and safe places for our most important items. And she kind of side glances at the kittens.
What? They're not paying attention. Well, Nicket's trying to. Toshi's just still snacking.
But if it's in peacetime, perhaps.
That's a long time to leave them.
Valine looks a little, he kind of perks up a little bit at that.
It's that or send them back to the Babas. But he is closer to them if they're out there than in here. It's just something to think about. I don't have a preference, but this is peaceful. They could learn.
The only problem is if we end up outside the book, we don't know how much time's gonna change.
I don't want to miss out on years of my children.
Valine,
what do I do with that?
Valine looks like genuinely, like he looks up at Paru and it looks like he has the exact same feeling.
The thing that's playing in my head is the gif of Broad City where she's like, I am a mom! Not the same sentiment.
100%
Similar, not the
feel
same.
like
No. It doesn't matter what we choose. We just obviously have to pick one. We can see them sent to the Babas, I guess, if the Babas are willing to take them. We are asking ancient archfey to babysit repeatedly, so I would argue that we might wear out our welcome if we are not cautious. These people love us, so
Right?
we do have that in our favor.
These are the fictionalized ideal versions of the face of
These
the
are
Queens of Fae.
Sweet, cozy cottagecore versions. It's just something we should think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
We probably have another maybe day or two here to catch up with. I know Beza needs to see people, and we have time to decide, but we will have to.
There's definitely some people I have to see. I will never hear the end of it if I don't go see my dad and my brother.
The queens all agree that subterfuge could be very useful. The idea of potentially cutting off means for the Queen of the Trade to travel could be a valuable sabotage. And Her Majesty of Beauty volunteers that Amadine would join you if you were going to go do that, because somebody who could create within a book would be very useful to create fake messaging if she can see what the originals looked like. She could do something. Hopefully. So, the, Her Majesty of the Folk chimes in. You won't be talking to the barons then. They're working on keeping the portal tear safe. So, you want to be chatting with them?
Does that mean we have to talk to Misery again?
What's wrong with Misery? She's alright.
Is she? Did something else happen in the last year and a half?
She's a gossipy bitch. I kind of love her.
I mean, I guess. It's fine. I just...
Doesn't
You want
look...
another power outfit before you go?
Doesn't look fine. Her Majesty of Folk has a big, like, grin on her face, like...
I mean, I'm not worried about her. I can handle my shit. I just don't love owing people things.
She also basically threw herself at Highland and Villain the last time we saw her.
I know, it was really sad to watch. It was really, really sad to watch.
Yeah, sad. Yep.
I will cut a bitch. Harvest says very quietly under her breath.
Nickit quietly pulls a knife out and slowly tries to, like, side hand it to Paru.
Paru. Passive perception 23? Oh yeah.
I heard cut a bitch. Having to do with my dad. Go.
Yeah.
Take it.
Thank you.
For the most part, it seems like things have been put back in whatever order they're going to be put back in for the time being.
For the time being.
So, I don't know what obligation I have yet, other than saying that Misery is fine for whatever job may open up.
Was that in character or out of character?
Yeah. I'm just letting all of you know, in the presence of witnesses, that Misery's all right.
I'm already aware of that. Yeah.
Adequately suited. Now, I realize that. I just have to. It's in the fine print. Would be adequately suited for a position of authority should one open up.
Mm-hmm.
Blah 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 blah.
Noted.
Great. Hopefully that worked. We'll see.
Didn't you have that ring thing you had that
Oh, we did. She's wearing it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna know what happens, if anything. But
Yeah.
I think there was a deal. Anyway, that's that.
Well, I'll let her know you said fine things about her. Next time we chat. We have like a weekly thing.
Great. Wonderful.
So you get the sense that Misery's already making moves.
Great. Wonderful.
On a happier note, now that we got some of the worst of it out of the way, we should probably introduce the rest of you to the kittens.
Her Majesty the Vine just gives a big grin on her face like, I can't believe we're doing this.
Can't either. I truly cannot.
These two little tabaxi kids are just like pushed in the middle, like you put the home movie camera on. Okay, you gotta act for
These
the
are
camera.
our babies.
Ma'am. Well, and I mean, and Her Majesty the Folk is just like, oh, you're just the cutest things, aren't you? Just like, ooh. Puts the big Admiral hat on Nicket. I stabbed someone for that? Nicket's like, cool. It's way too big for her.
Para turns to Blaine. You're never gonna get that off her head now. They are gonna wear that forever.
Well, I mean, it adds an extra foot. Like more intimidating. No offense.
None taken. I could add the height if I need to.
Mm-hmm. And small but mighty can still be scary.
Does it have to come with antlers?
No, I can come with really sharp teeth if you want a dinosaur.
I just meant that. Never mind. He kind of chuckles under his breath. And the kittens get introduced to your moms, to your Fae moms. And there's a little bit of a down time as things are sort of settling. Plans are being made, people are being reached out to in order to enact whatever needs to be done. Beza, you chat with Her Majesty of the Hunt.
Welcome, Raiders.
Welcome, Raiders. And Her Majesty of the Hunt checks in with you about what all you've been doing, and she lets you know that Sir Tuskendale Lord Tuskendale has taken her stead as Master of the Hunt, and that she has found some peace in just roaming. Being in one place never set well with me.
It makes sense, because this way you can always look for bigger and better game. A challenge.
There were a creature or two from another book that I could track, but sadly they have gone rather extinct.
That's awesome. You're too effective. How much do you think Dad's gonna cry when I introduce them? And she points at the kittens.
Excessively.
I should give them both handkerchiefs to carry.
Perhaps a towel. And she kneels down. How do you feel about all of this business?
I mean, obviously, the amount of time that I've technically been around in book years is a lot. But even in just the actual years I've been around, I've noticed that things change a lot from day to day. I mean, this is definitely a big change. And it's weird not having you guys in charge of everything exactly anymore. But it's not necessarily a bad thing for things to keep changing and evolving.
No. Standing in one place, stationary life. It is a means for getting hit with an arrow.
On the other hand, I'm looking forward to kicking you-know-who's ass so that we can take a break.
You have quite the spirit.
I wonder where I get it from.
Wonder. I have a gift. By the way.
A gift?
I assumed you'd be back at some point. And seeing as you had a maker. But I also left my mark. She has a little bit of a grin. I'd offer something else. And she reaches into her bags and pulls out what looks like a pommel for a sword. There's a little bit of a clamp on it, like a little and she. So, question for you, Heather. Beza's blades that come out of her arms, they don't have a bottom. They just kind of like Assassin's Creed style, or are they like full things that come into her hand?
So, the way I had pictured it, but it's hard to get good imagery of it because it doesn't really exist, and I can't draw for crap. Is basically it's like. Hold on, let me use my foot pedal so I can point to my arm.
Sure.
There we go. It's like the blade goes down her arm, almost like folds into it. And basically she can flip her arm out, and it's almost like her hand and wrist become like the hilt.
Gotcha. Okay. So rather than a pommel, rather than the bottom of a sword, it's this piece of metal that looks like it could set right where the blade is and meets the handguard. And she kind of puts her hand out, gesturing for you to show your sword to her.
Okay. I flip out one of my blades.
And she gently puts this piece of metal on the blade and does a little bit of a hand signal, like a sigil along it, and you watch as the whole metal heats up and just melts in to the blade. And when she lets go, you see that this piece of metal has a little jewel case setting, or a little jewel setting. And she says, "I've been working on in the impressive amount of free time I now find myself with. Been working on a bit of a project." And she pulls out of her bag again and opens her hand, and you see that there are 3 little rune stones in her hand. Made of crystal with etchings on them. You could place one of these in the setting, and your weapon will take on the properties of the runestone.
Ooh.
I thought you'd like that.
So like magic blades instead of ones that just shoot out of my arms. This is definitely going to be a lot of fun.
And she gives you the 3 runestones. Basic rules are gonna be you have to attune to the stone when you put one in and take one out. It's like you have to attune and unattune to the stone. But you can put one on the sword at a time. So one of your blades will have a magic. I'll work on having a second one made for you. But first tell me what you think.
I think it's amazing. I mean, I haven't gotten to play with it yet, but it looks amazing so far. Thanks, Mom.
And she'll give her a big hug.
You're welcome. And she, and so what we'll do is, let me see. So yeah, so we'll roll for the runestones that you have.
Okay.
There are a bunch. But I gotta track them down. I had just started collecting them.
Private conversation that Beza's having with Queen of the Hunt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I probably would have dragged Paru to the troll forest, to the magical troll forest to get clothes.
Oh my god. Hold on.
Catch you soon, Beza.
Hold on.
No, I'm just saying that's where we're...
I got you.
Beza will indulge us, but...
Yeah.
Paru's...
But it's important because...
my...
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, so, thank you. Anyone who watches Clone High. Anyway, so, that has to be on my soundboard from now on because I say it all the time. Okay, so, back with the makeover crew. You go look for the wit crisps.
Mm-hmm.
The little magic wishing trolls.
Mm-hmm.
And you head into the forest, and it doesn't take long to find them. Like Sigfinn says, they're exactly where I left them. But I think they might have I'll post. HBO's making a remake or a reboot or a sequel to Clone High. They're doing another season. You're welcome. So, she says, I think they've expanded a bit. So, you get to the forest, and eventually you start seeing the slight phosphorescence shifting colors. It's the My Little Pony forest, basically. And you catch a little movement here and there. And I mean, what do you do? How do you get their attention? As you find yourself in the right... I'm pretty sure, like, Sigfinn made some sort of, like, whistling noise.
Oh. I certainly can't do that, but... I can only imagine one of us must have thaumaturgy or access to it. Either Harlan, maybe Paru. I can
druid craft a
horn?
copy of Sigmund's whistle.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah, that would work. We just need to recreate it because I have no way of doing that.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah. So that's what Paru does.
Let me see if I know this isn't like 100%. I mean, and I know I'm gonna make some people mad right now because it's not. It is barely November, but it really feels to me like the Wit Crisps music is definitely Christmas. Like, hold on, I gotta find a good one.
Yeah, I mean it is.
Like,
Yeah.
So, so as you you sort of whistle out this bird call, you see there's a bunch of shifting in the forest, and all of a sudden you see a whole little sea of funky hair and like little colorful gnome, like, or sorry, little like, they look like Grateful Dead bears, kind of. And they all have a little jewel somewhere that's like pulsing with energy in the same color, and they're all in these different colors, and yeah, they're like, eh.
We are on another very important mission, official business, and we need to get outfitted again. And you did such a marvelous job last time, we couldn't think of going anywhere else. Yeah.
There's this little like the end of a kid's movie, and
really nervous.
well, and they're all a little closer to your hands, Paru. So like two of them just go, like take your hands and start like walking.
Oh yeah, I don't know what they're.
I'll give them the instructions. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I trust you.
And so one of them,
Don't want to.
one of them is like a bright teal and has big rabbit feet and is like hopping in front of you as you're walking, trying to like talking to you, like as he's like getting higher, like trying to get to your eye level to talk to you. You have no idea what he's saying, and he's just like,
So I am not sure really what I want. You guys kind of have, I mean, I've always kind of worn this, if she, like, gestures to her kind of, like, generic sleeves or bullshit, vest that she wears with the pizza patches and, borderline ratty pants at this point. So, I mean, I don't know, I want to look nice, I guess. There's somebody that I would like to impress.
Can I find the one that was like the bossy one last time?
yeah, the red one.
Is he around?
You can look around. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh god.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
That's true.
And they've
It's
expanded.
A sea of Care Bears. Perception. Oh, 17.
Yeah. Eventually, you can glance around. You see up in the little treehouse boutique. You see a shock of red hair is kind of supervising everyone.
Love it. Love this for you.
He has a little goatee now.
Oh my god.
I love him.
Oh my god.
It's as pointy as his hair.
Nice.
Amazing. Perfect. I'm just gonna go chit chat with him, make sure that he understands the assignment here. We need practical, right? Because this, she does like getting her hands dirty. You know what I mean? So not, more functional than what
Haru
we're gonna
is
do.
still not wearing shoes, by the way.
It's fine. And we can make.
I mean, you can add
we
shoes.
make
I'm
it work.
just like letting you know that she doesn't ever wear them yet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually looking at Paru's getup as we speak. Okay, yeah. So just kind of giving some general instructions, like we're gonna ease her into this. So she'll give you an idea of colors. I will take care of structure and form. She doesn't know what to ask for. But I don't really know what her favorite color is now. That green, mud. I don't know. Mushroom color. Neutrals are last year. We don't want that. We want
Mushrooms
something.
come in lots of colors,
That's true. Oh.
including Dayglow.
Okay. Yes.
Are we doing some Hunger Games shit right now?
No, I just want to do like a really rich, like jewel tone kind of maybe like a purple or something, like something.
And he thinks for a second, and he kind of starts doing a little charades, like
Like a gown or like pants or like
no, we need the legs need to be separated because she does a lot of this and a lot of this and all kinds of crazy druid shit. So again, like
when you say
we want it to boost her natural form without being not as skin tight. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, baby steps, right? Let's do some really loose sleeve, like do an homage to a sleeve, but not a proper one. It'll get ruined. Something that she can roll up. Let's do boots. If you have something that's easy release, the shoelaces. If we put her in shoelaces, she'll never wear them again. It just needs to be easy on and off.
I do want to note. I do want to note that when you said the legs need to be separated, one of the Wit Crisp looked down at her separate legs and went,
Yeah, exactly.
and the red one just rolled his eyes, like, this is what I have to work with.
Yeah. Lots of. Yeah. If you can do something that really like makes the ass pop a little bit, like we don't want it to be too in your face. But it is pretty low to the ground, just like relatively speaking, to some of us. But it needs to be noticeable from a bird's eye perspective.
Their little red guy's just like, and just like does a little squat, just boop on the ground.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You already know what I mean. Perfect. And then, yeah, I gotta change this up. Too many people have seen me in this. So we're gonna do. I really am digging the like high-waisted pant. I think I'm going through a phase right now. So let's do another high-heeled boot because that's very much working for one of my companions. And
he points at his own like red. Like you still want red on the bottom of the shoes?
No. Let's do, and I'm going to explain to him how the aurora looked in the sky.
Ooh, color shifting.
So
It's
I want
very
that on
excited.
the bottom of the heels and then on the shirt. It's going to be like again a high collar but backless. So button up in the front, backless.
I'll tell you what, Chris, you really know how to make it possible for me to make this in Hero Forge, let me tell you.
Yeah, right?
You can leave this out. This outfit's beautiful, so like this can be my.
For the record, I am currently working on getting an interview with someone in the art department at Hero Forge for Discover RPG, so I will mention the high collar backless.
I have a really high maintenance player.
Like extreme.
Yeah. So, but
Amazing.
yes, but
Where's the hot
other thing we
couture
need with-
line of Hero Forge clothing?
Haute couture. We also want to do something that she can do with her hair. If you have like some sort of very muted, I don't want to say a flower crown because again, this isn't Coachella. I know you don't know what that is, but something that's like banded and twisted.
This isn't the Circle of Spores, okay?
Right. Something that's
She might be
banded and
from
twisted
it, but
so
it's not one of their music festivals.
Rude.
So that she can druid craft whatever she feels like. She can let this crown reflect her mood. It could be mushrooms, it could be flowers, whatever. So give her a good like, but this way her hair's out of her face. Do you know what I mean? Makes the jawbones pop.
He looks around and he kind of grabs a twig and just kind of like starts tapping his chin with it.
She loves sticks and mud again, so like don't be scared to go a little natural with it, but let's keep it clean, let's keep it elegant, you know what I mean?
Clean
Let's make it a
mud.
little bit sexy. Yeah.
The number of times you hear the little guy go, is like just.
I love him.
It's like maybe that's the only noise he makes.
He's going to become my best friend by the end of this campaign. Like we are going to be thick as thieves. I can feel it. Me and him and the Yeti man. Yep. It's gonna be fine. That's what we're doing.
Okay. So, Paru, you have the opposite experience that Oliette did when you watch the Wit Crisp get to work and start putting random pieces of fabric and moss and like lichen on a dress form. You're like, oh, that's awesome that they're using like moss and stuff. And eventually,
I'm like, oh, this is really pretty. I
yeah,
like this.
and
All right.
then the boss man lights it all on fire. And as it peels off like this shell of like crinkled, burnt, charred leaf matter, you see a perfectly tailored outfit fitting Oliette's specifications. And we'll have to, as Chris was literally rounding this off the top of their head. We'll just assume that we'll come up with a picture at a later date. But yeah, it's
something that gives a boost to the chest and makes the butt look great with some boots, is what I heard.
with
In
I imagine
Jewel
something really subtle, but like almost like a little diadem with like
almost a
like with
circlet that like pokes into the hair, so it's like visible kind of around the front. So it looks good up or down.
somewhere between sticks and twigs and like a finely carved wooden piece.
Yeah. How people put like wood stuff in their very modern homes because they're like, I'm whatever, nature. That kind of vibe.
But without the
people that have-
whiny voice. But without the sarcasm and disdain.
Sarcasm not included. You pay extra for that.
So yeah. So you get fully kitted out. Paru, it probably feels a little weird. Sleeves are very strange. And they're kind of bullshit.
Cut.
But luckily, I was gonna say, luckily they're very light. They're not, is this fucking, what child is this? Yes.
Oh my God.
Sorry, it's what happens
if they
when
get
you
ripped off, it's not going to destroy the outfit. That's really...
some jingle bells on. So yeah, we're running a little late. But what I'll say is, Paru feels a little weird. But you know what? I'll let you decide how she feels in it.
I think she's nervous because she wants to talk to Blaine tonight, especially after the comment about I don't want to leave my kids for that long, and realizing that's how she feels about the kittens. Like she knew that she left them, but she's like, no, those are my children. I'm not. And that kind of hit her in the face. She's like, oh, that's like, I knew I loved them, but I didn't realize that level. So she kind of wanted to talk to him or talk to them about it.
Okay.
And then of course she's, has feelings that are coming on with that as well. So I think she's trying to feel confident, but also is nervous that they're not going to like it.
All right. Well, we'll say that Oliette, you of course get matched to your exact specifications.
look incredible, and nobody's surprised.
Yeah, no one's surprised by this.
I do help Paru a little bit while we're still in the dressing room, like while she's trying it on. Zhuzh up the hair, slap some mascara on, super big. Like, I don't want to overdo it, but I want to remind her that the only person that you need to feel, or the only person you want to impress, the reason you do all this is for yourself. This is not for someone else. This is to accentuate your best you. You don't need anybody else's approval. This outfit is just going to make other people desperately wish that they had yours. That's really what this is about. So own it. You've got this. If you get stuck, just act like you don't care. That's the easiest way out. But do what works for you. Feelings look good on some people. I don't personally subscribe to that, but you're very different. And it's good. So this is just a boost. You're already enough. This is just bells and whistles.
Okay.
Try not to rip the sleeves off immediately. They do look very good. I know you hate them. Give it like a day or two. Wait,
no, it's I'm yeah.
You look good.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, this is totally not terrifying. Okay. Yep. Nope. I can totally do this. Yep. Not scared at all.
Not at all. And you leave with the best, warmest wishes, almost Seussian levels of enthusiasm from the little whip crisps as they're like, and you are
make sure to thank them.
I think I even have anything to give them. Oh, I might give them as a gift, my little buddy, I might give him the wooden duck that we got from the gift shop at the island that's like a wooden duck with its feet in the air.
Oh.
I'm gonna give him this little wooden. It's probably huge compared to him, but I'm gonna give him a wooden
I had to
duck.
really quick adjust the size. Yeah, they're just like, like gets a crowd surfing the duck.
My God.
No, they're very excited about this. It's a very lovely gesture. So, you all gussied up, start making your way back, from, towards the, Her Majesty of Beauty's realm. We'll just hand wave it and say you gotta ride somehow. Her Majesty of the Vine, just like waiting. She's like, I'm just gonna read this magazine. You go do your thing, and I'll come get you.
Sugar daddy vibes, big time.
Mm-hmm. So you exit the forest and emerge back in the tundra. And we will have to resolve what happens next week.
Sir Tuskendale meeting his
Sir Tuskendale and Par's
Yeah, I didn't want to have the conversation
makeover.
without Kyle.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I will let you know, Oliette, though, as you peruse that book. It's one of my favorite things. I'm so glad you rolled that particular book. It makes me very happy. The Perpendexicon of Narge. Insane geometry and esoteric poetry. So, what happens with this book is you can cast confusion once per day by reciting a mad poem that you pluck from the geometry of your mind. So, if you want to cast confusion, you have to recite a poem. Ideally, a nonsense poem, but a poem. If you want to cast confusion once per day with the spell, without using a spell slot or anything.
Oh, okay.
So,
Cool.
just
Yeah, I love
preparing
it.
you for the
That.
future if you want to amass a poetry. One of my players in a private game I have has a Dr. Seuss book that he reads from when he wants to cast
Yeah,
confusion.
I might have to put some sort of like repository together.
Yeah. Some beat
Between
poetry
that
or something.
And the stories I'm already telling.
Oh yeah, it's great. I just thought it was super
It
appropriate.
fits.
Yeah,
It fits.
it was super appropriate. So yeah, we will wrap session there, and we will continue on. I mean, honestly, I love the character building, like little character moments that we do when you guys are in the book. So I'm not in a rush. Even though the characters very much feel like they might be in a rush. And
I'm just terrified to actually talk to Valaine about how she's feeling after what happened last time.
well, not like she remembers that. She doesn't remember what happened last time. So she's just
I still
nervous.
have
So
to
she's
know.
just regular nervous.
Feelings.
She's just like, I have feelings. I don't know what to do.
She's got new feelings. She doesn't know the old ones
That's
existed.
true.
I have another soundboard that I have to put now, which I edited a long time ago for somebody, which is just the song from Wicked, but it's just, what is this feeling so sudden and new, repeating, and then at the end, what is this feeling? And it's just what is this feeling? It doesn't continue on past that. I will have to keep that on my soundboard as well.
Nice.
But thank you for joining us for this little impromptu makeover episode. Makeover. Anyway, so we will see you all here next week as we are in a hi Raiders.
Hi.
But I will run through our stuff real quick. You will be able to watch this on VOD if you missed it or only came in a little bit afterwards. And if you liked what you saw tonight, you can obviously subscribe here, especially if you have a Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime subscription. You can get a free Twitch sub, so please use that if you got it. There's literally can't lose with that. It just directly supports us. But if you like what you're seeing and you'd like to support us directly in another way, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdsmith. You can also check out our sponsors, World Anvil, Die Hard Dice, which we will put out our information about our art contest to get yourself a set of dice from Die Hard Dice. Is it going to be the ones from this month, or is it going to be the ones from last month?
Let's do the ones from this month because it's an entire set rather than a single.
Heck yeah! So you can get the set of the Avalor Enchanted... I always say it wrong. Samhain, thank you. Set. They're really, really super pretty. You can get those if you submit some fan art of your favorite moment from the show so far. You can use Hero Forge's Scene Creator if you want to do that. We can give access to the characters if you want to do that. If you want to draw something, if you want to write something, sky's the limit. Whatever art catches your fancy, you will be we'll be voting internally on our favorite, and we will be giving the gift based on that rather than a random draw this time. And we hope to see what beautiful stuff you have. Use the hashtag Shenanigoons if you're gonna do that. And we'll put something out on our social media for that officially. So follow us on... Let me put the rest of the notes up on the screen because I keep forgetting to finish. You can find us on Twitter. You can also join us on the Discord. That's a valid place to submit. So yeah, please hang out with us. Oh, thank you, Chris. And check out all of our amazing players because I love having all of you, and we've missed you all. Gosh, it's been a while.
Tune in this Thursday for our final episode of the Nerdsmith Spooktacular Monster of the Week campaign. Unfortunately, we had to skip last week because a couple players were ill, but this Thursday we will be wrapping it up, and they have thus far defeated Shia LaBeouf and have found out the true evil behind his plan to become immortal, Demi-Lich Keanu Reeves. So,
oh my gosh.
I feel like we should let that happen, though.
I'd be fine with that.
I mean, that's how Shia found out about the ritual on how to become immortal, is that Keanu Reeves told him how. So
wow,
we'll see how they handle that.
What a nice, generous guy.
What a nice Demi-Lich.
Right?
Here's how you do it. You just gotta murder and eat people.
And just because it's November does not mean it can't still be spooky times.
Exactly.
It's always Halloween in your hearts.
Damn straight it is.
Well, when my sister decided to decorate her house as Nightmare Before Christmas starting in October and not stopping until New Year's, my world opened up.
Amazing.
All right, hopefully next week I will be at 100% and not coughing my face off.
Yes.
And we will be back with hopefully a Kyle. Mouse, I know I missed your character, your NPC. I will get them in next week. I promise. You know I'm good for my word. And we will see you all here. So remember, Thursday, follow us if you want to get pinged when we go live. I am running Discover RPG on Mondays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, or come back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, for Shenanigoons. We hope to see you soon, and we will be back for chapter 47. I don't know what it'll be called, but we'll find out. All right, everybody, have a really good night. Take care of yourselves, make good choices, and above all, please do us a favor and be good to each other. All right, to be continued. Bye-bye.